All right, everybody ready? Our members of the media, thank you all and welcome to Conversation with the Chief. This is an intimate opportunity to talk to our executive command staff. We have different topics. We do this every month, and this allows the media to have access to our commanders. Today, Chief Bryant is going to take the lead on the discussion regarding APD resources and what we have as it relates to the tools and the resources we use to prevent as well as fight crime. Chief Bryant.
Thank you, Shada, and thank you all for coming. First of all, I want to give a acknowledgement to the Atlanta Braves for winning their second, actually it's their third, second time in the city of Atlanta World Championship. And then to Flourish for allowing us to host us and being a phenomenal partner of the Atlanta Police Department. As Shada, Director Spike stated, this is a monthly conversation that we have with the media to give them insight on what we're doing, how things are going with the Atlanta Police Department. Being that we're just fresh off of the championship, one of the topics I thought that it was important for us to have is how do we protect the parade that we are anticipating. First of all, we are at the very intimate stage of planning it. We are having meetings ongoing at this very moment. And shortly thereafter, I think Chief Murphy will be able to brief you on some of the specifics that we'll have as it relates to the parade. But I'll start off with the crime. As many of you all know, this conversation is generally about where we are with our crime. The City of Atlanta, as I've stated several times in having conversation with you, is that the Atlanta Police Department is a very diligent, professional organization, and we continue to work very diligently and aggressively in reducing crime. We have implemented since the beginning of the year a winter plan, a spring plan, a summer plan, and now we're moving into our holiday plan. And each plan progressively have chipped away at our crime numbers. Right now we're sitting at 4% over where we were last year. As many of you all know, during the summer we were much higher. And the work goes to the leadership that you see at this table and the men and women that are out there fighting every single day to make the city of Atlanta safe. As many cities continue to battle with crimes throughout our nation, the Atlanta Police Department, I think, is at the forefront of seeing those numbers come down. Additionally, where we are with our recruitment and retention, those numbers have stabilized as well. Our attrition rate has gone down to where we were pre-pandemic, and our recruitment numbers are catching up quite rapidly at where we were pre-pandemic as well. So it appears that the strategic plan that we put in place to hit certain metrics, we are ahead of those numbers, so I'm confident that we'll be able to meet the number that Mayor Bottoms challenged us to have of 200 by next year. Additionally, as I stated, I thought it was important that we give you an opportunity to see the resources that we bring to bear as it relates to how we protect a parade for the World Series champion. We know that we anticipate upwards to maybe 1 million participants in this parade on Friday. And it was just important that you all see that the resources we bring, not just Atlanta, but our partners with Fulton County Sheriff Department, Clayton County Police Department, Clayton County Sheriff, as well as Georgia State Patrol and GBI. All of those partners bring additional resources to help protect what we'll have going into this weekend, over Friday's event, which will begin, I don't even know the times. I think I need to turn it over to Chief Murphy.
Hang on for me, Chief Murphy, let the truck drive off.
12 o'clock? How about if we just go ahead and toss it over to you?
They want to wait on the truck.
Yeah, I know. They're waiting on the truck.
Yeah, we've got to move.
She needs to have the microphone in front of her.
There's your pen.
That one won't do it.
That might cause it. Like, y'all don't know what y'all doing? You know what I mean?
Still in the building.
Celeste Murphy, Deputy Chief Celeste Murphy, CELESTEMURPHY. Ready? Okay. So we will have a combination of state and local partners that are going to help us with the parade. The parade will start at about 12 o'clock, noon on Friday. We will have the route will be secured by personnel, as well as we'll have response units to make sure that the citizens remain safe while they are watching the parade as it goes down. The parade is going to start at Peachtree and Marietta, and it's going to run all the way to 10th Street, and then from there go on to the interstate and continue on to Cobb County. State ramps will be temporarily closed, so we ask that anyone that wants to come to the parade to get there early, and but it won't affect a lot on the interstates themselves. We also encourage everybody to take MARTA to get down there. What do you, I barely can hear you, but did you say, are they going to have a meetup spot for everybody?
During the Olympics,
Uh-huh.
thing, you'll have limits for people that they couldn't come at a certain time for security reasons.
Right.
You'll have something like that for the parade.
The time frame that they cannot come?
Right.
So we want everybody to get there at least by 11 o'clock. At that point, everything will be shut down, and we'll start at 12 o'clock. So we need everybody to get there early so that they can get the spot where they want to stand in the parade and observe. And then from that point on, the parade will start at 12 o'clock.
I wanted to, like I said, just give an overview of where we were as it relates to crime overall right now, and our preparations for the parade on Friday. And other than that, I think until we get into next month, that's all that I have, unless you have some specifics, which I'm certain you do, questions for me.
Chief, can you talk about, we had our resources and our show and tell. Can you talk about how those resources are utilized when we have large-scale events, and what's the importance of having this type of equipment that you saw earlier?
Absolutely. So when you're having the City of Atlanta Police Department is no stranger to putting on and securing large events. As it was stated, we've managed the World Series before. We've managed a Super Bowl here in the City of Atlanta, and we have hosted college football championship and the Olympics as well. And on any given day, any given weekend, we are handling other smaller events. But it takes a lot of resources to do all of those. And so what you all were able to see was some of the equipment and resources that we deploy almost on every major event that we will have. We were able to deploy our special operations section. Most of the equipment you saw was from special operation section in our community services division. And what they're able to do is generally they're not in the forefront of the event, but they are in the background so that we are able to protect the crowd and the event itself so that everyone can have a decent time and remain safe. What we were able to do, I thought what we brought out today was our SWAT team, some equipment from the SWAT team. In case something happened, that equipment is able to go in and extract and assist our SWAT team as needed. Our helicopter unit, which we continue to fly through major events to give us a broader line of sight and visibility, a situation awareness of anything that may happening throughout the event, as well as our drones. Our drones give us the ability to take a look at things from above, giving us a broader spectrum of what we're able to see, just not from a linear perspective, but more from a horizontal perspective. And we utilize that quite often. I think the technology that the drone has provided has helped us out greatly. Our mounted patrol. Our mounted patrol is out as well. It gives us the ability to be able to move the crowd as necessary and protect, block off certain areas. Our K9s, we do several sweeps to ensure that the area remains safe. Prior to the parade setup, and then during the parade setup. And just our human resources. We have to lock down almost every intersection to make sure that this event goes through and there's no distractions from other vehicles that may come on the pathway. Again, as I stated, we couldn't do it alone. We also reach out to our federal and state partners for assistance as it relates to securing these events. And I've had a number of calls already with people willing, because this is a big deal for the city of Atlanta to have the World Championship baseball team. And so we anticipate a lot of people coming out for it.
Chief Audrey just got here from Channel 2. Can we go back over the parade details with Chief Murphy and you as well, Chief? And if we can pass the mic down so Chief Murphy can be picked up on audio.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So you want me to pass it down? All right, we can do it now.
So we can talk about parade details.
That's good right there. Deputy Chief Celeste Murphy. So we're going to have the parade start Friday at 12 o'clock. The beginning of the parade will start at Peachtree and Marietta and go to 10th Street, and it'll end at 10th Street, and at that point it will go on to the interstate and continue on in the Cobb County space. We will have our state and other local partners that will help us with the parade as far as closing off intersections and making sure that, that the route is safe. We will also have tactical response units in the background to make sure that all of our citizens remain safe during the parade. And we also ask that everyone take MARTA to get to the location, because it will be completely sealed off, and there will not be a whole lot of, there won't be a lot of ways for people to be traveling in that area. So it's just better for us to take MARTA.
Chief, can you talk about Chief O'Connor, how we use technology for large-scale events and how we use during the World, considering the fact that the World Series champions are coming back for a parade?
So the route that's been discussed or has been determined, we have a robust camera system in place known as Operation Shield that goes through the police, originated with the Police Foundation. There are numerous cameras along that route, and so we'll have no problem seeing those and being able to monitor, record, whatever we need to do. We also have a number of technological enhancements that are in the near future. So we are purchasing software that will bring significant increased value to our camera system and allow us to do a lot of new things. We're hoping to be able to roll that out and show you that sometime here in the next probably 6 to 12 weeks. Unfortunately, it didn't get done quite fast enough for the parade, but all our normal technology is in place for the parade, and here pretty soon we're going to be able to show you some pretty new cool stuff I think the public's going to be thrilled about.
So with that being said, I'll open it up for any questions that you may have. So I won't get into how many officers we'll have. I can tell you we're partnering with several agencies, so we'll clearly have enough officers to secure the route. But Major League Baseball anticipate up to maybe 1 million people, and I'm assuming that is between the city of Atlanta and Cobb County that will be out to celebrate the Braves. Absolutely. And so in many events that we have throughout the city of Atlanta, we deploy our special operations section, our community service division, which have our specialized equipment and to make sure that everyone remains safe. That equipment is needed to ensure that our route remains safe.
And do you have a message at all to anyone who may be looking at this as, okay, this is prime time, we have a lot of visitors coming in, this is the time I can do this or the time I can do that, that may not be the most positive thing about the kind of force that will be out?
Oh, absolutely. Again, we're rolling out as many police officers, as many as our federal and state partners as we possibly can, because this is a big deal for the city of Atlanta as well as Cobb County. And so we're both partnering to make sure that we have adequate resources to secure people coming down to celebrate the Atlanta Braves. And it doesn't distract, it won't take away from what we have in the communities because they will be fully operational as well.
Chief, how did you guys prepare for some potential, maybe over-enthusiastic celebrations last night, and did you see anything that is worth talking about in terms of people getting too rowdy, too excited?
Yeah, so at the onset, once we realized that we were going into the World Championship, going into the World Series, there was conversation with this team and specifically with Chief Murphy, who's in charge of Community Services Division, to make sure that we had adequate deployment on every given night to be able to respond to any incident whenever if we'd won by Game 4 or as it was Game 6. And so we made sure that we had additional resources out and held over until we recognized that the city remained calm.
We didn't see anything that was uncontrollable. We didn't have any reports of any type of activity that was serious enough that we had to have a quick response to. But we also had enough people that were on, at work on duty that were able to handle if it did happen. But we didn't have any significant incidents any of the nights after the games.
When you said the Marietta, I believe Peachtree recess, are you just talking about like the Centennial Park area or?
At Peachtree and Marietta? Yes. Yeah, yes. Kind of like the 5 Points area in that vicinity. Thank you.
In terms of technology and crime, there was a state street racing task force recently released some statistics that are pretty impressive. I'm curious if you guys have seen or feel a reduction in street racing now that you guys are members of the task force. And I know, we've obviously seen a lot of helicopter video and drone video from those instances where you tackle street racers. Can you talk a little bit about, the trend in street racing crime and how technology helps you guys?
Yeah, so we've always been a partner of the task force as it relates to street racing, partnering with the surrounding areas. The technology we utilize, from our helicopters to our drones to our video integration center, has all played a role in helping us reduce what we were seeing at the height of street racing throughout the summer. Again, I think that it also has played a role that people are going back to normal. So the streets aren't as open as they were, as well as we're getting the calls and people who have really are fed up and have become much more intolerable as it relates to street racing, giving us calls and heads up as it relates to when they are starting to see things gather up. So the technology as well as human resource have been key in seeing these numbers reduce.
And if I could add to that, we have a really, really robust collaboration with the metropolitan area, other jurisdictions. We work really well together. We give each other intelligence or heads up. If they see something in their area, they let us know what's going on so that we're also on heightened alert for it coming to our area. The other thing is to piggyback off of Chief, what he was saying with our intelligence. A lot of this now we're able to use to apprehend if it's not, you know, at the point of when it's occurring. You know, we also follow up from those events and seek warrants on people that are engaged in that activity. And that's been helping us a lot because people have actually been getting prosecuted because of those things.
Anything else?
Audrey, any questions?
Thank you.
All righty. If that's it.
I think I'd be remiss if I could ask you about the election yesterday and the mayoral runoff and, as it pertains to your future and how you see things playing out with the election.
As I've stated before, I generally stay out of the politics of things. My job is to run the police department, and along with this team here and the folks that are with you. I think that however it plays out, the police department is a strong entity, department, and we're here to serve the people of the city of Atlanta.
Chief, any comment about the possible Buckhead cityhood?
Again, I think that I don't want to get into the politics of it either, but what I do know and what I will speak on is I think that anytime we have issues in the city of Atlanta, when the community pulls together, we're able to resolve those issues. Quite often I hear people talk about the issues that they're seeing in Buckhead currently. I've been here in this city almost my entire life. I remember 20 years ago when you couldn't move through Buckhead, when crime was much higher than it was now. But it wasn't a separation that curbed those issues. It was the community and the police department and the city coming together and resolving issues and getting that situation under control. I truly believe that the leadership that we have in place with Major Senator and his team and the resources that we bring to bear, as you were able to see some of the resources out there, we just don't bring them out as it relates to special events. We bring them out when we have issues that we need to deal with. And they are really paying significant dividends, and we're seeing that, as I stated earlier, the numbers come down, not just in the city, but as well as in Zone 2.
May I can just ask one quick follow-up question, because I've done a lot of stories with people in the Sweet Auburn area, and they specifically said to me, especially business owners in the area, what about us? When you talk about heightened patrols and Buckhead, there, and I know you're aware, their concerns are about, the drag racing, the donuts in Sweet Auburn area, put it up on barricades to keep cars coming in. So can you address their concerns when they say, what about us? We feel like, all this attention is on Buckhead, but it's not on the Sweet Auburn area?
I think that they should really have a conversation with myself and the zone commanders and this team as well. That has not been the case. When we recognized they had issues, we had conversations with the administration as well as the city council, and that's how those barricades were able to be put up. We deployed a number of resources in that area as well to make sure that we were able to fight crime, and to that point, the crime numbers have gone down over there as well. We continue to monitor issues. We recognize, like in any other area, sometimes we have peaks and valleys. But our job is to make sure, if we continue to work together, come up with the best strategy to eliminate those peaks. And I think that the strategies that we've put in place have been very helpful to that community. And we haven't stopped. We've not stopped at all. And so until we can get that truly under control, we'll maintain doing what we need to do so, while communicating with the community.
All right, if that does it, does anyone else here have any comments or concerns they want to address now? If none, that will do it.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.